Credit those guys, Coach Tomlin. You know, they won that game. So, you know, look, it's frustrating. I was proud of the way the guys fought. You know, we fought our way back in that and had an opportunity to win the game, which is ultimately what you want. But we weren't able to close it out. And you know, at the end of the day, that's on us. I mean, we did that. You know, we're the ones who put ourselves in that position where we had to try to score on the last play. But some of the efforts were outstanding, and it was just too little, too late. You know, a lot of we just didn't make enough plays.
How do you explain the emotion of the last play, the controversy of it?
I mean, I don't even want to get into it, you know, because it's not going to change anything. We still lost. You know, it's. You know, I mean, look, you think you score, you don't score, and then, you know, you think you're going to have another play, replay it or back it up and one more shot, and it doesn't. And that's just, I guess that's the way it's written in the rule book. So that's frustrating. But there again, it should never come to that. We had our opportunities. We weren't able to put it in before that play.
You're an offense that's predicated here on running the football being just 15 yards on the ground again. I know you always want to watch the film, but just what did you see from your perspective? What was the real difficulty getting it done rolling, other than being down late?
Yeah, just couldn't quite get it going, man. Just, you know, and, you know, made some hay in the pass game. Golf was in a good place. Our receivers were making plays. That's kind of where our explosives were showing up. And so, you know, went that route, and then we come out, and really the third quarter we only had, you know, we had those 3 plays. And that was it for the third, and then we were down 2 scores. So, you know, now you're definitely throwing it. So just didn't make enough. You know, certainly I wish we could have run it more. I would love to run the ball a little bit more than that, a lot more than that. But just wasn't one of those days.
And people will talk about, obviously, the last play, but your level, if you're disappointed, it looked like the Steelers pushed you guys around a bit. They ran the ball better, stopped the run, physical. Yeah. What stings you?
I can't argue with that. I mean, the ground game says it. I mean, you know, they're rushing. Now, they rushed it. You know, they had a lot more carries. And some of that was, you know, our defense was on the field for a while. And, you know, when you're able to convert and stay on the field a while, then you can kind of bounce from run to run to run to, you know, play pass to, it just opens your offense up. And that's what they're able to do. And, you know, they can, you know, you run a play, you get the look. You run a play, you get the look. You run the opposite of that and see how they respond, and then you get a look. And we weren't able to do it, and they were. And yeah, I mean, I can't. They got after us. I mean, they rushed for over 200 yards, and only 15 for us.
So the last play is tough to talk about, but did you think that one route? Did you think that was a penalty? Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I couldn't even see it. Man, I was looking at the protection and golf, and then I saw the catch, and that was.
How about the heads up, you know, decision to pitch the ball to golf and regardless of what?
Yeah, it was a headsy play, man, and he wasn't down, and just to stay alive for the last play, man. I mean, that's what Saint is. He's a freaking smart, instinctive player. Gave us one more shot, we thought, but didn't work out.
What was the explanation you got on the call a few plays earlier where Tesla was called?
Just that. They said it was, you know, that it was OPI. He ran into the defensive back or whoever it was, which, I mean, there's nothing you can do. They see what they see. And I didn't see that one either, so I have no idea.
Dan, when you're analyzing, dissecting this game, do you regret not kicking a field goal early in the game?
No.
How much, you know, of the substitutions that you have to make, so many on the offensive line and the defensive backfield, there seemed to be some confusion on some plays where the safeties are supposed to go and all that. Does that just take a toll when you're constantly rejiggering your lineup every week and having these guys come?
Well, I don't. You know what? You love having guys that are there every week, of course, because you get used to it and you build a rapport and you're all on the same page. But that's man, we've lived this for 3 years. We should be better than that. You know, we've got to get our guys ready. We can do better. Every team's got injuries in this league. Most of them have some type of injuries. You got an injury bug somewhere, and as coaches, we're charged with having those guys ready. Make sure we're on point. The substitutions, the whole thing. That's what we got to do. And I know this guy, you know, Rodgers is really good about messing with you on third downs and stuff. You know, they roll out and see if you're substituting, then he gets back on the ball, and you know, we talked about it, we worked it this week, and you know, that got us a couple of times. But you know, you gotta have those guys ready that are going to play for you, and then you try to help them with the call, you know, and as much as you can reduce the burden on them, and make calls that help, you know, kind of help them too. That's what you're trying to do.
Considering the optimism in your room coming into the season, all the talent you guys are earning, how do you describe your emotions, where you guys stand today?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's frustrating. We just lost 2 in a row, you know, so that's the word. I don't know. I don't know what all this is or isn't. I mean, I know we got 2 left, and I just want to see us finish, man. I just want to finish our style of football with 2 to go, man. You know, and try to play 4 straight quarters of good football, you know, clean football, efficient football. That's what I want to do. And we're on a short week now. You know, we got Minnesota. We're back in tomorrow, and got to have a game plan ready for these guys, and we got to be ready to go out to Minneapolis and put it all together and execute.
And your playoff hopes obviously diminish. I assume you know that, your team knows that. How does that affect? It's very slim odds right now. You address that? How do you deal with it?
No, I mean, kind of what I just said is what I told them. We got 2 to go, man. I want to see us play with our identity, you know, with what we are and what we're about. And, you know, look, we're big boys in this league, man. You pull your pants up and you go to work. And, you know, you can't feel sorry for yourself. It doesn't mean it doesn't sting. It doesn't feel bad. But we have nobody to blame but ourselves. I mean, you know, it's on us, and it's also on us to finish. We got 2 to go.
What you had said about trying to play 4 straight quarters, you haven't done that in a minute.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What you had said about playing 4 straight good quarters, efficient quarters, you haven't done that in a minute. Why do you think that is? Why does that slip away from you?
Yeah, there's a lot of errors, man, that have popped up. You know, we've got some mental errors here or there, or a lack of self-discipline, and look, ultimately, I'll put that stuff on me, man. That's on me. I mean, there's no other way to cut it other than it's the head coach, and so you know, it's on me, man.